We're going to peel back the layers of our own planet today. Circling above us right now are satellites, creating this unique, always updating archive of the world. And hiding inside that archive, some absolutely incredible secrets, right there in plain sight. So let's start looking.
So yeah, that's really the big question, isn't it? What can we find if we just look a little closer? You got to think of Google Earth less like a map and more like a time machine, or even a detective's tool. It captures everything, from ancient mysteries to modern-day events, and we can see it all without ever leaving our screens.
All right, first up, let's jump back in time. Some of the most baffling enigmas on Earth aren't buried miles underground. No, they're literally etched onto the surface, visible to anyone with an internet connection. And they've been sitting there for centuries, just waiting to be understood.
Our first stop takes us to Algeria. Right in the middle of the vast Sahara, where you'd expect nothing but an ocean of sand, you find this. It's a perfectly circular structure called Ksar Dra. It is way out there, it's ancient, and its real purpose? Well, that is a complete mystery.
So here's what we actually do know. The structure is about 35 meters across. It has these double walls, and if you look close, you can even make out the outlines of what look like individual rooms inside. So, what was it? An ancient fortress, maybe? Or could it have been a kind of ancient motel, a caravanserai, for traders making that brutal desert crossing? For now, the Sahara's holding on to that secret.
Next, we're off to Yemen, to a place with a pretty ominous nickname. This is the Well of Barhout. It's this massive, 30-meter-wide hole just sitting in the desert floor. For centuries, local legends have spun tales about demons and evil spirits living down there. Mostly because, well, nobody knew what was actually at the bottom.
That is, until pretty recently. A team of cave explorers finally decided to find out for themselves, rappelling 100 feet straight down into the darkness. It was the very first time anyone had ever reached the bottom. So what did they find in the so-called Well of Hell?
Well, spoiler alert, no demons. But they did find snakes and the remains of animals that had unfortunately fallen in. And, yeah, some pretty terrible smells. But they also found something beautiful. Thousands of these things called cave pearls. They're these smooth, round stones formed by water dripping over countless centuries. A little bit of natural wonder inside a place of dark legends.
So, from these ancient mysteries, we're going to pivot now to the stark reality of the modern world. Because this technology, it doesn't just show us the distant past. It gives us an unflinching, often totally unfiltered record of human conflict, documenting events as they happen, all from above.
This sequence from Mosul, Iraq, back in 2017 is just extraordinary. On January 5th, you can see the riverbank is clear. 2 weeks later, on the 19th, the satellite freezes an MQ-9 Reaper drone in the image, flying right overhead. Then, just 5 days after that, 2 impact craters appear. This isn't just a picture, it's a visual timeline of a military strike, captured step by step with this chilling neutrality from space.
Satellites are incredibly powerful at showing the before and after of major events. Here you're seeing images from Gaza and from Abbottabad, Pakistan, when they were intact, and then the aftermath. In Gaza, entire neighborhoods turned to rubble. In Pakistan, after the 2011 raid, the whole compound where Osama bin Laden was found is just gone, wiped from the map. As you can see, the images really speak for themselves.
Okay, let's pull the lens back a bit now and look at the bigger picture. Because beyond conflict, these images reveal the sheer scale of human ambition and activity on our planet. From these massive feats of engineering that power our world, to the much more hidden operations that are exploiting it.
I promise you, this is not a scene from a science fiction movie. This is the Noor Solar Power Station in Morocco, and it covers a staggering 4,500 acres. It's so big that it creates this incredible shimmering pattern that you can easily see from space. But how on earth does it work?
The key thing here is that it's not just your standard solar panels. Thousands of mirrors, which you can see all around that central tower, they literally track the sun all day long. They focus all of that sunlight onto the top of the tower, which heats molten salt to incredibly high temperatures. That heat then powers a turbine and generates electricity. It's just a brilliant piece of engineering.
Now for a much more hidden human footprint. This bizarre-looking object was spotted floating on the Congo River in 2017. What is it? It's a floating deck used for illegal gold mining. These platforms are designed to be portable. They suck up riverbed material, filter out the gold powder, and then, once they've gotten what they can, or if the authorities get too close, they can be taken apart and moved somewhere else entirely.
All right, for our final section, we're looking at how this technology acts as a kind of silent archivist. It captures everything from these delicate natural events to the forgotten artifacts of human history, all preserved in the most remote corners of our globe.
Take a look at this. It's a tiny, uninhabited island in the Red Sea, right off the coast of Eritrea. And it is covered in thousands of these strange spots. What's weird is that the islands all around it are completely bare. So what could possibly be creating this totally unique pattern?
The answer is actually wonderful. Each one of those spots is a nest dug by a green sea turtle. Because the island is completely free of any human activity, it's become this massive, safe nesting ground. It's just an amazing example of how we can watch a delicate natural process from hundreds of miles away without ever having to disturb it. And our final discovery takes us to a relic of a past conflict, one that's been frozen in time in the frigid Bering Sea. On a remote Russian island, satellite images found these 6 square structures. They're dug right into the ground, and they are all facing one direction, towards Alaska. The best guess is that these are forgotten Soviet bunkers from the World War II era, built to keep an eye out for American ships.
And that brings us to our final thought. We now live in an age where pretty much every square meter of our planet is being photographed and archived. The good, the bad, the mysterious, and the monumental. What are future generations going to think when they look back at this complete visual record of our time? What stories is it going to tell about us?